Hi and hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Neema and this is Here is Neema, where we talk about all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, feminine essence, feminine energy, self-love, and development. So, with that being said, today's topic is something I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. And I don't know, it's kind of one of those things that I don't think a lot of people actually, I would say now with kind of the rise of the soft life and, I don't dream of labor and, a lot of more women making content on, femininity, feminine energy and living in alignment with your feminine and all of these things. I think that there's definitely a lot more conversation about this, but I kind of wanted to add to the conversation, I suppose, and kind of share my thoughts on this because it's been an evolution for me. And yeah, as you guys can tell, this is my favorite spot on my couch. I basically live here, sleep here, eat, drink here, little snacks and stuff. And right now I'm just having a cup of coffee, my beautiful wolf mug, dog mug. This was a gift actually from one of my students. So, super nice, super cute. And I love this mug, especially the little gold details. So I'm sure you guys have probably seen it before, but just enjoying some coffee and some girl chat. So definitely make sure you go get your drink, whether that's a glass of wine, a sparkling water. I'm obsessed with sparkling waters. I have one here too. Gotta have 2 drinks at all times. What? It's a must. I don't know why, but it's a must, okay? Or whatever it is that you like to drink, a cup of coffee, tea, whatever it is, because we are going to talk about this. There is no feminine job. And like I said before, we have people kind of coming out and talking about this, and this is kind of my addition to the conversation, right? There is no feminine job. I will say, if you are a woman and you are looking to live an aligned lifestyle in your feminine, your true essence and nature, and in your womanhood and all of that, and you want to live a healthy, aligned life, and you still want to do some kind of work, I would say the only way that you would really be able to achieve that is if you either A, work part-time, and even by that, I mean not just any part-time job, but the kind of part-time job where you have flexibility and autonomy and, you're able to kind of still have it cater, to you and to your lifestyle. And, just the unique ebbs and flows of your life as a woman, in all of your different stages, throughout the month, and even especially if you have children, and kind of be able to work around your life. I would say that would be one of the ways that you would be able to work and also live an aligned life, fully aligned. And then secondly, having your own business. And those are really the only 2 ways that you would be able to work and still be living in your feminine alignment, like work full time and, or make money, outside of the home and all of those things, in your feminine alignment. I've seen a lot of women, and I actually know a girl who, she nannies full time, and she has a son, and she is a single mom, and she's able to bring her son with her to work. And that is still a job. She's also works as a preschool teacher for the family. They have money, so they gave her a budget during COVID, and she did renovated the basement to be a preschool classroom. And so she's not even just the nanny, she's the nanny plus the teacher. And now that she has her son, she's able to take her son with her to work, and of course they pay her really well, so it's not like she is, in a down and out situation financially. She's able to, support herself and her baby and take care of her baby full time. So I feel like that is a really good setup, for her and her situation as a single mom. Most women are not that, fortunate to have such a situation, or, a work situation that caters to them, in that much, as a single mom and as a single parent, whatnot. So, I mean, women are really creative and we're resourceful, and we've been making it work, and we continue to make it work. But there is no feminine job. There is no way in this society to be able to make it all work. And I feel like we've been fed the lie that you can have it all for so long. And I think it was Michelle Obama who said in an interview once that women can have it all, they just can't have it all at the same time. And that really stuck with me because it's the truth. And I feel like this have it all that we kind of have been sold our whole lives was such a lie. You have women literally breaking their backs trying to quote unquote have it all. Happy marriage, happy and healthy children, happy home life where you're spending time and you're able to keep up with the chores and you're able to have a beautiful home and a happy family, healthy family, and you have a successful career. You're able to, move up in the ranks. You're taking care of yourself, mind, body, spirit, soul, all of that. You're, taking care of your self-care, and you're, keeping up with your beauty, regimens and getting waxes and nails, keeping your nails done. I mean, that is impossible. There's no way that as a woman, you are able to do all of those things at the same time to the degree at which you want, and be at a perfect 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 in every single area. It's just unrealistic. And I think people, like I said, women have been breaking their backs for decades now that we've been in this, independent woman kind of a space. And it is literally making us sick. And I've spoken about this in previous videos, to where women are suffering from anxiety and depression at, alarming rates, right? Autoimmune deficiency, so many different ailments, so many different disorders, so many different diseases. And it is due to the amount of pressure, stress that comes from this agenda that has been pushed on us by society. It is honestly time to let that go. Like I said, women are very creative. We're very resourceful. But if you've come into this kind of a space and this type of work, and inner work, where you are kind of unlearning a lot of those things that we were taught, coming into a space where you are becoming more aligned in your feminine and wanting to make your lifestyle such that, you're able to live that out, not just talk the talk and put some makeup on, but actually have an aligned lifestyle and a life where you're able to truly rest in your feminine and not have to, be in positions and situations where you have to feel like you need to defend yourself and put yourself, in highly stressful situations, environments, because you need a job to survive. And I feel like as single women, we are kind of in a little bit of a conundrum because, you're supporting yourself, you're taking care of yourself and all of that. So technically, yeah, you have to work in some way, shape, or form. Most of us do, unless you have family that can support you, which is totally amazing and awesome. And if I did have family that was able to pay my bills, or, I was able to be in a situation where I didn't have to work, full time because I had support from my family, a trust fund or whatever the case, that, I used to talk down about women that had, support from their family and be like, oh, they don't even pay their own bills, or they don't do this, or they don't work, they don't do that, but they're always looking so cute, or they're always out here doing this and doing that, traveling, out with friends, going to parties, whatever the case may be. And I used to think of it as a negative, for sure, back in the days. And now I'm like, what? If it was me? What? Oh, honey, I would be there. I would be there. And I would show out. And I would show up. And I would be looking good. And I would be spending my money, okay? And God willing, you know, if I have daughters one day, they'll be able to, you know, have something like that, you know. God willing, that would be the ideal situation. Because it is probably the worst thing for any woman who's doing this work to be in a position where financially you feel strapped or you don't have money to do the things that you either A, need to do, definitely need to do, like pay bills and survive and live, or the things that you want to do, which is honestly just as bad, if you ask me, because you can have all of your basic needs met, but the feminine thrives with having options. And with options, in order to have options, you need to have money, right? And I have made no secret on this channel, one thing that I am personally working on myself is becoming a better steward of my money and creating more of a masculine container and a structure for my finances so that I'm able to enjoy my money more. Okay? I'm still getting over allergies and stuff like that, guys. Don't mind me. But so that I can enjoy my money more and, you know, feel that I have more options. Not even just feel that I have more options, literally have more options. And be able to just be at ease and at peace and know that, you know, I have money in the bank. I have money in my savings. I have money in investments. I'm not making crazy payments on this thing and that thing and all this different stuff. Like, you know, and I have really just been, you know, trying to become a better steward of my finances and taking steps towards that. And that's a goal for me for this year. So, you know, I feel like with the kind of rise of this whole movement of, you know, women not wanting to work now and all of these things, you know, us millennials and Gen Z, or especially the Gen Z, because, you know, us millennials, we were growing up in the independent woman girl boss era, and I feel like the Gen Zers are like, y'all can have that. And hey, I'm right there with them. You know, there's the millennials that are like, yeah, we're on this side, and we kind of just want to live soft life, and we just want to, like, you know, have an easy life. We don't want to work too hard. Just want to, you know, enjoy being a woman and just like live a life that's in alignment with that, and not fighting against it all the time. And I'm not gonna lie, like that is one reason that I chose to become a teacher, was because I thought that being able to be a teacher would allow me more of an opportunity, I guess, to live a more aligned life in my feminine, because you do have that time off, you do have those summers, you do have the spring breaks and the holiday breaks and all of those things. But what I found is, even with all of that, and you guys know, I mean, in the US, teachers are dropping like flies. People are leaving the profession like OMG. And yeah, like it's bad, because even though you do get those breaks and things, the amount of pressure that is on teachers, the amount of paperwork and the amount of just, you know, constantly feeling like you're not doing enough, constantly being told like, you know, you're not meeting the expectations, and, you know, because these students are not at this level, like, you know, there's always more on your plate. There's always more that you need to do. It's never satisfactory. It's never enough. You can literally try so hard. You can be staying before school, after school, and still not doing enough. It's never enough. The government, between the government, the administration, the demands from them, the parents, testing, test scores. Yes, even in kindergarten. Y'all know I teach kindergarten. It is insane, the amount of stress that is in this profession. And then on top of that, you're dealing with all of these things and you're still not being paid. You're still having to, you know, live, you know, this hustle kind of a life, because you're not making the amount of money with all the inflation and whatnot, rent, all of these things. You're still not making enough to be able to live on one income probably to the degree that you would want to. That's my situation. I, have always sort of had multiple streams of income. I do different things that bring me money. And, that is always kind of been how I've always operated. Even when I was in undergrad, I've always done a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I mean, most teachers you're going to find, especially if they're single, if they're married, probably not. And maybe even in some cases, yes, they do, but most likely not. If they're single though, definitely they have two jobs, or they have multiple streams of income to where there's no way that you could live on a teacher's salary as a single woman or a single man alone. Like a teacher's salary alone is enough to pay my basic needs. I mean, I am not and I'm not exaggerating, and I don't make, on the lower end, I don't make on the higher end. I'm kind of in the median range. So, which is not much. And if it wasn't for, my other income streams, I would not be able to live the type of lifestyle that I want to live. And that is saying a lot. So no, like when you're in a position to where you're not making enough, to live comfortably and the type of life that you want to live, with those options, like we talked about, the feminine loves options, then yeah, you're working a lot. You're kind of always kind of doing the math in your head that, I need to make X amount of money so that I can do XYZ ABC thing that I want to do, whether that's a vacation or whether that's buying something new, whether that's, obviously you guys know I just moved, so I'm always looking at furniture. I'm always looking at things for the new place, always. And wanting to be able to do like all of these things and feeling like, oh my gosh, like where am I going to get the money, or how am I going to be able to get this, when, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that is not the space that you want to live in and that you want to be in if you are trying to thrive in your feminine alignment and really live a life that is aligned in your feminine. It is not, it's just not conducive. And this is why, I thought that in teaching, I would be able to find more alignment in this profession, me working in a mostly female dominated kind of a work space, career field. And it doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. Guys, there is no feminine job. Nursing, that's not a feminine job. You're literally putting your life on the line every single day, putting yourself at risk, dealing with sick people. I mean, we saw what happened during COVID. Yes, we could say nurses make decent money, definitely more than teachers. It is, like they say, a pink collar profession, meaning that it is majority women. Of course, you do have some men, but majority women. And, women do it, but you find a lot of the women that do it, unfortunately, are in relationships where, and I hate to say this, but I know a lot of nurses personally, and even friends of mine that are nurses, and we've talked about this. You find a lot of women that are nurses who choose to be with partners that, are kind of not where they need to be as men and as fathers, providers, husbands, to where those women a lot of the times are the breadwinners. And then they're really put in a situation because now they're finding that they have to work extra. They go back to school so that they can make more money. And it's just like, they're the ones that are literally carrying the financial load in their household. And unfortunately, those women a lot of the times, they're the main ones that suffer from, a lot of illnesses, disorders, ailments, mental health, a lot of things that they really don't have to suffer from, but because of those choices, they do. And because of the work environment, it is a high stress work environment, especially working in a hospital, especially working as a bedside nurse. If you work in an emergency room situation, if you're working with, you know, even in a children's unit or even in any type of unit, you know, dealing with, you know, death and serious illness and, you know, just, you know, situations that are very, very traumatic on a regular basis, I mean, it absolutely affects your mental health. And I have a personal, like a family member who has dealt with this very, very heavily in their life, in the mental, in the, well, with mental health and also with just working in a very high stress environment in a hospital setting. Okay, this stuff is real. And in fact, I could say multiple family members because, like I said, this stuff is real. Okay, there is no feminine job. Working as a receptionist, not a feminine job. You know, you'll be running ragged. I mean, try to take a day off. Like, they depend on the receptionist so much. The only job where I could say you would be able to be in a better feminine alignment, like I stated at the beginning of the video, is a job that is low stress, flexible, where you're able to work hours that are kind of, you know, you can align it with, you know, your personal, what's going on with you personally, whether that's your menstrual, as well as, you know, just, you know, your life in general, if you have children, all of those different aspects, you know, whether you're able to kind of work at different hours of the day, even if it's like, yeah, you need to work a set amount of hours a week, if you're able to kind of front load your week and then take the rest of the week off, or if you're able to work a certain hours a day, maybe work, you know, early in the morning and then have the rest of the day to yourself, or, you know, come late, maybe in, you know, from afternoon to like evening and get your work done then, depending on what's going on with you, and being able to kind of tailor that to your life, which is very, very difficult to find, even if you're working from home. A lot of people also think, oh, you know, I want a feminine job. I want to be able to, quote unquote, rest in my femininity. Let me get a work from home job. Yeah, no, it's not. There is no feminine job. The only way that you are really going to be able to truly be aligned in your feminine and, you know, live that life is if you are A, not working, B, working in a position where you're able to work your own hours, or C, having a business where you're able to cater it to you. A lot of women also that own businesses, they run their business like in a very masculine structure, in a very masculine mindset. There's a clothing brand that I really, really like, and I follow the creator, and she is like this. She is like this. She is a beautiful woman, married, she has children, she has a successful business, but when I tell you, she created that business from blood, sweat, and tears in a very masculine way. She is not somebody that is aligned in her feminine, and therefore, even in like some of the funny things that she'll post, like about her and her husband, she talks about how, you know, oh, she's the one who's like always anxious, and she's like suffers from anxiety, and she's always worrying about stuff, and then her husband's like the chill one. He's just like playing with the dogs in the background, and I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me because you have worked so hard. She's one of those women that have worked really, really hard to create her business. She worked a full-time job, and she worked like until 2 a.m. for like years on this business on the side so that she could grow it to where she is now. And now her and her husband work together in this company, in this business, and you know, it's like a family business type of thing, which I think is beautiful and amazing. But you don't have to do business that way. Like, I know women that have not done their business that way. They didn't have to sacrifice and blood, sweat, and tears their way to a successful business. You do not have to do that in a masculine kind of a structured way. That's very much in the masculine. You find that a lot of male entrepreneurs have a similar story to that. And I think that we are taught as women that you have to do it that way. That's business. You need that grit. You need that work ethic. You need it to be and not to say you won't need work ethic, but grit and doing things the hard way and those late nights and those, long hours, like that is not conducive to a woman's health. It's just not. And being able to create, a business for yourself that is more aligned is going to be much, much, much more beneficial for you now and also in the long run. I have been speaking on this for 25 minutes now. I'm not sure about the editing of this video, but I feel like I've just been on the run and I've just been really, really just like, spitting it out today. I don't know. It's like a really good day for me to film. So, I'm glad that I'm able to come on camera and kind of speak on this. It's definitely been on my list of things to speak on because I'm kind of in that now. I've been, thinking about this for a while. And like I told you guys, this is why I got into teaching in the first place. And not gonna lie, I wouldn't lie to you guys. There's no reason for me to lie to you guys. But I do really enjoy teaching. I love working with children. I love it. Especially the ages of 4 to 6. So pre-K, kindergarten, like my heart is there. My heart is still there. If it wasn't for all of the, expectations that I feel are unrealistic and quite frankly, just like put extra workload on a teacher's plate for no reason other than just to have data or just to have, test scores, benchmarks, like all of these different things, putting pressure on the teachers and the kids and all of these things, unnecessary, especially at such a young age, completely unnecessary. If it wasn't for all of that, if it wasn't for all of the politics and all of the, different people kind of like telling you what to do from different angles, if it wasn't for all of that, I would stay in the profession because I enjoy it. If I was able to just teach and just enjoy the children and enjoy my job and be creative, and I was able to make the type of money that I feel I should be making and that's comfortable for me to be able to live a comfortable life and all those things, doesn't obviously, like, I'm not even looking to make 6 figures. Like, as a teacher, I don't think any teacher that truly loves the profession is in it for the money, but it does matter. It does make a difference when you have to work 2 jobs or multiple jobs in order to just have a nice lifestyle. And it's not even like be rich or anything. Like, you just want to be able to go out to eat from time to time, get your hair done, like go on vacation here and there, like those type of things. That is a problem. Like, as a teacher, you should be able to do those things. And live a lifestyle where you can just work 1 job if that's what you want to do and be able to, do all of those things for yourself. So in my situation, I would honestly stay in the profession if that was the case. That is not the case. So I am at a point now where I am looking to leave the teaching profession. And it doesn't mean that I don't love teaching. I do. And at one point, I would love to honestly go back to teaching. I feel like I'll always be a teacher in one way or shape or another. That's why I come on YouTube and I make these videos. I feel like, in a sense, like I'm a teacher on here, just teaching from experience, sharing my experiences, things that I've learned, and hopefully I'm able to, help others and bless others by sharing those things. Even in how-to videos that I make on here and just all of those things. Like, it's in me. I think I will always do that. But as far as being a teacher in a school, that is something that I'm looking to transition out of, unfortunately. And, I think as a single woman who is on this journey and wanting to live a more aligned lifestyle in her feminine, like looking for a position that, you have more financial, what should I say? What's the word? Gains, or you have more better opportunities as far as like making a higher income, and making a higher income, it does mean a lot. It offers you, those options that we talked about earlier. It offers you just more security, more resources in order to do the things that you need and want. And I mean, it's important. It's important, and that's kind of the best that I've learned when it comes to working as a woman. And I've made other videos in the past about my feelings on work. I definitely don't see myself working forever, but for right now, this is what I'm doing, and I have a plan for myself, and I mean, I'm excited for the future. I don't see myself, being able to kind of be an employee forever. But for the foreseeable future, that is where I'm at. And, I'm grateful for that as well. I can honestly say that I've been very blessed, even though my feelings about work stand. I've been very blessed, and, I've really learned how to kind of take the jobs that I'm working and kind of make them work for me, as far as, putting those boundaries up and making sure that I'm not, overextending myself, and I'm not, working on the weekends. Like a lot of teachers do that. And even when I wasn't teaching and I was working other jobs, like putting those boundaries up is essential. If you are working and you're a woman who is on this journey, it is essential for you to be able to have those boundaries and to put those boundaries up. I honestly feel like it's a skill. It's a skill that I've learned to, I've taken on, and I've, in a way, mastered it, to a degree at least. And I mean, I'm happy about that. I know that this is a season of my life. It will not last forever. But this is kind of my thoughts. I mean, there's no feminine job. That's all you can do. And you have to, choose what is going to work best for you. And if it's working multiple jobs and being able to have some sort of flexibility in that, so be it. I know people, women, I should say, that work, 3 part-time jobs and work from home, work outside of the home, or a combination of both. And that is what makes them happy. That is what they like to do. And they're making the money that they want to be making. And that's great. I don't think I'd be able to do that. But again, you have to find what works for you. You have to think about what the most important thing is. Obviously, if you're married or if you have a partner, then you guys, either he's taking care of the finances, so it doesn't really matter exactly like what you're making, or if you share finances, which, if that's what you're doing, highly do not advise, but that's what a lot of people do. They split the rent and all that stuff. Then it may not feel like, you need to necessarily be making more because you have somebody helping you financially. And then, hey, even if you're not married and you have somebody helping you financially, whether that's family or a significant other or whatever the case may be, like, everybody's situation is going to be different. So you have to figure out what is going to work for you on this journey, and just make sure that you are taking care of you, and that you are not in a position or in a job or in a field that is so highly stressful that it is causing you distress and illness and disorder in your physical health, mental health, all of the above. It's very, very important to know your priorities, and if you have children, obviously prioritizing them. Like I shared with you guys that story about the girl I know who has a baby, and she's able to take her baby to work with her as a nanny. There's even stay-at-home moms that are, they watch a kid or two, along with their own, make a couple extra bucks from doing that. There's just so many options. Never limit yourself, and do what is best for you and your family for your own personal health, wellness, and feminine alignment, because it all comes together and it is all working together. And if there's something is off, you know what you need to do to change it. You really do. You have the answers inside of you. You just have to trust yourself, and you just have to listen. You know what it is that you need to do. And so I know for me, like, that means for me that right now I do have to exit the teaching field. And I don't know really what that looks like yet, But, you know, it's something that I'm willing to explore because I know ultimately what I need and what I need for myself at this time. I love to teach, and it's sad that I can't afford to teach anymore, because the life that I want to lead, it is not in alignment with teaching anymore. I mean, as far as the pay, the effort, the politics, I can't do it. The impact that it has on my well-being and my goals and my lifestyle goals of wanting to live a feminine aligned lifestyle, it is not in alignment. Therefore, I cannot. One day I would love to honestly teach part-time, like be a part-time pre-K teacher or something like that, maybe even part-time kindergarten in like a private school or like a church preschool or something like that. That would be awesome. I think I would really enjoy that because I love the littles. I love to teach. I don't have kids of my own, so they really are like my babies. So it's something that I truly enjoy. I will miss it, but you know, I know what I need to do. And that's the answers that I have for my situation. So same for you. You know, you have the answers. You just have to make sure that you are listening, and, you know, doing what's best for you in this journey and in this life. And that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. You know, that's all I have to say. We're all on a journey, and we're on the same journey. If you follow this channel, then you know what my, you know, agenda is, and kind of what we focus on this channel and the things that we speak on, and, you know, just kind of where our mindset is at and lifestyle and goals and all of those things. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope that this video was insightful. I hope that it helped you, blessed you in any type of way, shape, or form. I really enjoy just coming on camera and just sharing my thoughts with you guys. And if you have a story, if you can relate, definitely comment down below. I would love to read, you know, your personal thoughts and your comments. And if you've had experiences, you know, with jobs in the past, or, you know, gone down a particular career path where you thought that you were going to be able to kind of get that better work-life balance, feminine alignment, space, and all of those things. And there are some great companies out there that give you, you know, really great benefits to where you can live a more aligned life. And that's where I'm currently at in my life. And so I don't know, guys. It is a journey, like I said. And, you know, I'm blessed to be able to come on camera and just share this with you. I know that one day I'll look back and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember that. I remember when I was in that position. I remember when I felt that way. And, you know, look at where I am now. And so, yeah, definitely comment down below if you can relate or you have anything you want to share or add. I love to read the comments. So, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you officially. Be blessed and stay encouraged, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.